Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping straight into Berlin, thinking about the UN Climate Conference 2025. It sounds like, well, a global pressure cooker, right?
Wow.
You've got government leaders, top scientists, business innovators, activists, all gathered.
And the pressure's definitely on. The core mission, really, is to forge actual actionable plans, ways to keep global warming manageable.
Right, not just talk.
We're talking the nitty-gritty of how to genuinely make a difference this time.
Okay. So for this deep dive, our mission is clear. Pull out the most important insights, maybe some surprising facts from this huge conference for you.
Yeah,
So a big part of this seems to be getting different groups talking scientists and policymakers, for instance.
absolutely. And what's really interesting, I think, is seeing how the latest science, the research findings, are directly feeding into potential policy decisions.
Oh, like how?
Well, for example, you might see new data presented on just how cost-effective solar power has become, right alongside discussions on, say, phasing out fossil fuel subsidies.
Ah, I see. So the science isn't just, interesting facts. It's actively shaping the political conversation.
Precisely.
And the big goal of all this dialogue, this interdisciplinary approach.
Ultimately,
Yeah.
it's about getting everyone on at the same page, establishing common standards for a low-carbon future, sort of like agreeing on the basic rules of the road globally.
Makes sense. And you can't talk about a low carbon future without bringing in the economy, right? That feels like a huge piece of the puzzle.
Oh, absolutely central.
Well,
And there's a real focus on how we shift our economies, not just shift, but transform them towards sustainability.
so it's not just about restricting things.
Not at all. We're seeing businesses showcasing models where, protecting the environment actually drives growth and profit. Flipping the script.
Okay.
Proving sustainability can be an opportunity, not just a cost. There were some fascinating examples, like the boom in green tech jobs.
Yeah. Right. And the technology itself, is that a major feature?
It's huge. Yeah, the conference is a real showcase for tech aimed at drastically cutting emissions. Think industry, transport, energy production.
What kind of tech are we talking about?
Well, everything from better carbon capture methods to more efficient energy storage like batteries.
Yeah.
Innovations that can really move the needle.
So it's this mix then. Policy from the top, innovation bubbling up. But it's surely not just about governments and big business.
No, and that's a vital point. It really gets to societal responsibility. You see civil society groups, activists, local communities heavily involved in the discussions.
Hmm.
It underscores that climate change isn't just a government problem. It needs everyone. Global cooperation, yes, but also individual commitment.
And it feels like there's a real push for, well, concrete stuff this time, not just aspirational goals.
Exactly. Beyond the main stage, there are loads of smaller working groups really focused on hammering out practical solutions.
Like what sort of things?
Could be anything from figuring out finance for renewable projects in developing countries to setting clear standards for green buildings. Real-world problems, real-world solutions.
Okay, so stepping back a bit, does this Berlin conference feel different? Maybe like a potential turning point in how we handle climate change globally?
There are definitely some encouraging signs. You hear early reports hinting at a growing consensus on more ambitious emission targets
That's hopeful?
and a stronger push for really scaling up renewable energy faster.
And perhaps the most positive signal is this willingness to work together across borders.
I think so, yeah. That feels stronger this time. It really seems like a concerted global effort to actively build a more sustainable future. There's urgency, definitely, but also, some real optimism that progress is achievable.
Okay, so if we boil it all down from this deep dive into Berlin 2025, what we're seeing is a global community tackling climate change from all angles: science, economics, society working together.
It's a multifaceted approach, which kind of leads to a final thought for you, listening. Given all this ambition, this collaboration we're seeing, what's one single action, maybe something small, maybe bigger, that you think could make the most significant difference in your own life or perhaps your community to contribute towards these huge global goals?